I mean, that's a fair argument. The question then should be, when, if ever, in your moral universe, is it okay to do something evil after an evil act to try to make that evil act correct?
But how about for in terms of what if we're in the position of the mother and she is, I don't want to take the risk of illness, death, or whatever to have this child.
Sure. So it's a little bit of a false choice because they're acting as if the termination of the pregnancy will have no consequences or costs. A lot of women that get abortions have regret. Women die when they get abortions. They have a lot of their health issues. It's not just like getting a haircut. So it's a little bit of a false choice. But we come after it from a very basic moral argument.
Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel where the art of debate makes the cool side of commentary. I'm your host, The Performance. Today we'll be checking out a video titled Charlie Kirk explain why there is never a reason for abortion. Wow. Let's check it out. Go.
I'd like to ask you about for abortions, right? How do we explain to those who are for it? How do we explain that even I don't know if you believe this or not, but in terms of like a rape or unintentional or really unconsented pregnancies, can we say that we should still be anti-abortion in that scenario?
Yes.
What's your grounds for that, and how would I explain it to someone else?
Sure. It's a good question. Let's say I have two ultrasounds here. One is an ultrasound of a baby from a loving marriage. The other one is a baby conceived in rape. Which one is which?
We can't exactly tell.
So they're both human beings.
Right.
They both deserve human rights.
Okay. But then what is if someone pushes back against with the idea? Do I? Oh. What is if someone pushes back with the idea that now, in terms of the mother, right, one of them was willingly conceived while the other one was a forced conceived?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair argument. The question then should be, when, if ever, in your moral universe, is it okay to do something evil after an evil act to try to make that evil act correct?
But how about for in terms of what if we're in the position of the mother and she is, I don't want to take the risk of illness, death, or whatever to have this child.
Sure. So it's a little bit of a false choice because they're acting as if the termination of the pregnancy will have no consequences or costs. A lot of women that get abortions have regret. Women die when they get abortions. They have a lot of their health issues. It's not just like getting a haircut. So it's a little bit of a false choice. But we come after it from a very basic moral argument. There are two lives involved. There's a little life and a grown life. And no one has the right to eliminate a human life in utero, period.
So then at that point, now we're forcing someone to do something that they never consented to, never wanted to do. How isn't this violating their human autonomy?
Well, again, but eliminating the human being would also violate the baby's autonomy too, wouldn't it?
Well, then we would have to ask, right? Maybe in future years we will have the technology to be able to extract a fetus and grow a fetus outside of the uterus, but given our state of medicine right now, we do not have that.
Sure. I mean, but again, no one is delighting or rejoicing in these circumstances. I mean, it's a terrible situation. I want to reiterate that. But you have a unspeakably difficult choice that is very morally, clear though, which is that you don't eliminate a human being because an awful action happened.
Are you saying that as someone who can get, well, I guess my pushback against that would be then if we say that it's entirely wrong, right? We are, I guess, we're sacrificing someone's choice for someone's life, which is admirable, but
It's also morally correct. You don't get to murder someone smaller than you if it makes your life difficult.
but then we can't exactly see the fetus does not have autonomy. It cannot exist outside of the uterus
Doesn't
quite
matter.
yet.
Human dignity does not correlate with dependency. So dignity and dependency are not two things corrected. You have human dignity because you're a human being, not because of how dependent you are.
So would you say that viability happens when
Viability is irrelevant.
So then, at what point does human life begin then?
Conception.
Conception, not even sperm or
That's conception.
eggs? Okay.
That's conception. That's
Well, I
when
just wanted to get
when an
that
egg is
base.
fertilized. When an egg is fertilized, human life begins.
Okay, so then when it's still a single cell with both chromosomes pairings, right?
Well,
That-
it creates new DNA, right? So once the sperm and egg meet, literally something magical and inexplicable happens where new DNA is formed.
Okay, and then what happens? So then,
Then it attaches to the uterine wall, and I can go through the whole
Yeah,
gestational process. But
all right, so then we have the basis of human life. Now, what is if within the uterus, now that life is still alive, but is unable to proceed to, like, let's say, actual birth due to some medical situation that has happened?
well, has the baby died without outside intervention or with outside intervention?
Let's say that
is it an ectopic pregnancy or what? What you got to be very clear about the type of.
The amniotic sac has
Yeah, that's an
ruptured.
ectopic pregnancy, right? So
Right.
yeah, you can remove the baby from that situation without aborting it. The baby will die outside of the womb, but you
Right.
do not have to abort it. So those are two different things. The removal of a baby is what's called a cesarean section. You can do that very early on. Now, ectopic pregnancy is very real. It's very terrible, but you can solve an ectopic pregnancy outside of having an abortion.
But okay, so then what creates an abortion? Is it the heartbeat, the removal of the fetus? What exactly
Well,
is
so
that?
I don't want to go too deep in this. Do you know what happens in an abortion? I mean, maybe you don't. They literally will break the back of the baby's skull, right? They will insert to the back a syringe of cyanide poisoning until the baby no longer. I mean, this is one of the most gruesome things. Everyone who's pro-choice, in my opinion, has a moral obligation to watch a video of an abortion just to know kind of what you're supporting. It's so beyond inexplicable. But yeah, look, I really quick. What's the final question on this? Because I want to keep moving.
Oh, sure. So you didn't really finish the question of when can we do that procedure, right? If there's still a heartbeat,
I don't think we should ever do that procedure.
what happens if, like, now the mother's life is going to die in, like, the
Well,
next
it depe-
15
it depe-
minutes, but the baby is still having a heartbeat?
It
What
de-
do we do
it
at that
depends
point?
on, again, I don't want to speak to every specific. Some OBGYNs say abortion is never medically necessary. I'm not a professional enough to say that. But it depends how far advanced the woman is. If she's past 22 weeks, have a cesarean section. Try to have the baby live in NICU.
So there are situations where abortions are okay, right?
Well, no, I'm not even saying okay. Again, I don't know enough about some OBGYNs that they can defend their statement here. They will say abortion is never medically necessary. I'll allow them to defend that. I don't know enough about the details there to be able to say that.
So you're saying that you do not have a statement of whether abortions can never be true or always?
It is murder. Whether or not an OBGYN can prove to me, of which there's a lot of debate, it is ever medically necessary. So take, for example, if a baby is 26 weeks and the baby's, the mom's life is in danger, deliver the baby by C-section. Don't terminate the baby. Does that make sense?
Yes, I
The
kind
baby
of
can
see.
survive outside of the womb.
Okay, at that point, yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Next question.
Wow, what an interesting question. And you understand the student was also ready to listen to Charlie Cook. He was ready to learn. So I admire him for that. And just the fact Charlie have stated in this video, the question now goes to my viewers. Is it okay to do something bad just because something bad happened to you? So I believe in some cases, when a woman is raped under some condition, the woman becomes very frustrated and decide to go for abortion because she feels that she don't want to have a bastard. She don't want to have a child without father because she's going to be the one to shoulder all the responsibility in bringing the child up. So I believe at that time they face a difficult time to make an informed decision, but I still believe there is no reason to justify terminating a life because you feel something happened to you. I really feel bad for what happened to them. If you are raped, I feel bad about that, but I still believe you should give life a chance. There is more to life. Your life is not over because you are pregnant. There is more to life. There is more you can achieve. There is more you can achieve. You shouldn't bring yourself down. You shouldn't try to terminate your life because you feel you have been raped. I know a lot of people are passing through the same condition, this same problem. You have been raped and you feel the best thing to do is to go for abortion, because you feel you don't want to shoulder the responsibility of bringing up the child, or probably you don't have the finance and you feel you are not financially capable to be able to take care of the child. I understand that, but I believe we should give life a chance. You don't have to do something bad because something bad has happened to you. Instead, you should try to correct that something bad. Some people might even think of it in a different way, that aborting the baby means they have gotten back to the person that raped them. But believe me, the baby knows nothing about the rape. The baby is totally innocent. So I believe not your DNA, not your choice. Because from what Charlie Kirk have just said in this video, the baby starts developing at conception, when the sperm meets the egg and is able to develop. Something miraculous happened and is able to develop into a DNA. A DNA is created in that process. So I believe not your DNA, not your choice. So I don't feel, even when the life of the mother is threatened, I don't feel it is necessary to be able to terminate the life of the life of the baby because you feel the life of the mother is threatened. So Charlie Kirk has even given a better example how this type of issue can be resolved. When the life of the mother is threatened, they can go for a cesarean section whereby the baby is removed from the mother's womb. The baby can still grow outside the womb. So it's not okay to terminate a life to save a life. So I believe there are better ways of handling such issue. So if it is necessary to kill, I don't feel there's any justification for that. It's not okay to kill a baby because the baby's in the womb, because it's just like you killing any other person. So I totally understand the facts, totally understand, and I'm also in agreement with the fact Charlie Kirk have stated in this video. And I believe not your DNA, not your choice. Everyone should be given a life to, everyone should be given the opportunity to live a life. If you were aborted, if your mother also made that same decision to abort you before you were born, you will not even be standing to ask Charlie Kirk this question you are asking. So I believe every life should be given the opportunity to live. It's not okay to do something bad because something bad has happened to you. Rather, you should try to correct that bad thing that have happened to you into something good. So if you are trying to do something bad because something bad happened to you, I don't see anything different between you and the person that did something bad to you. So I believe there is no reason, there is no justification to terminate a life. There are better way of handling issues that you might not even know. You can go for help. I believe there are people who will be able to put you through on the next step to follow before you make that hasty decision to terminate your pregnancy because you feel your life is threatened or you feel something bad happened to you. Wow. I've really learned a lot listening to Charlie Kirk and the fact he have stated in this video. I also love to hear your comments. Keep the conversation rolling. Don't forget, click on the subscribe button, click on the like button. Do have a nice day.